and welcome to our training videos with Eaglewireless. My name is Linda, and today we're going to focus on the new Geotab menu design in version 11. Now, version 11 carries the same features that we saw in version 10 with a few additions, but the principal change is the menu design. Now, you'll see up here we have three main tabs. To get to your dashboard, your asset list, and the map. Now in version 10, under the map tab is where you would find trips history. But in version 11, with the new menu, we have trips history is going to fall under the track tab. Under the track tab, we've got trips history, routes, asset monitoring, zones, the driver congregation report, asset location sharing, which you would use if you are sharing your asset location with another database, analytics lab, active insights, and exceptions. Exceptions is where you would be able to run reports for vehicles against the different rules that you have set up. And by the way, you're going to find this exceptions tab in various parts of the menu. So let's go from the map over to trips history. So I click on trips history, and here it's going to work pretty much the same way as it did in version 10. Now you'll notice if I go searching for a vehicle that I have a lot of assets in here. And these assets actually are trailers that do not have devices in them. They're trailers that have been selected by drivers using the driver app. Now, if we don't want to work with them, we're going to open up the groups filter, asset information, asset type, and we're going to select vehicle. With this, now all we are going to have access to in our search are vehicles or equipment that has a GPS tracker in it. So I'm going to click on our first vehicle named Alex and look for the last date that there's any driving history. And here we have it on the 19th. Now from this point forward, it will work much the same way as it did in version 10, that I've got my stops report, and if I want to get a visual on the map, I click on show all trips, just as I did in version 10. And here I have an image of the vehicle breadcrumb trail on the map. And again, over here, I have the same stops information that I had in the list form under trips history. Now, as I mentioned, under the track tab, you can also find exceptions. If I click on this, I jump right over to where I can run a report or find in list form any vehicles that had broken rules in Geotab. And let's say I'll select all. I've selected all vehicles. I've selected all rules. I'm going to hit apply changes. And here they will load in list form the same way that they would have in version 10. And just as in version 10, you can open up your reports tab, go to details, and here you have access to any of your customized reports, or you can click on standard or advanced and run the report in Excel. on your basic data. On any of these reports, just as in version 10, if you click on the 3 buttons, you have the option to run the report in the PDF. So closing the Track tab, and let's move over to the Compliance tab. Under the Compliance tab is where you're going to find your HOS records. You can access your logs the same way that you would in version 10. So we can click on, let's look at it for this month. And here, I open this up, and what happened? I'm not finding any of my drivers. Why is that? Because I am still in the vehicle group. So let's X out of the vehicle group, go for this month, drop down, and here I can find drivers. Let's look and see if I've got any logs in here. Apply changes. And here, my logs record shows up for the month. And as I said before, once you get over here, it works the same way that it did in version 10. And again, under the HOS tab, you're also going to find where you can click on to find your violations and availability, but they've added something extra. Unidentified driver. It used to be that you had to go into HOS and pull up unidentified driver as a driver. But now they've got it divided also into a separate tab. You click on unidentified driver and you jump right over to it. Click on it for last week, apply changes, and now you find all of the logs that are going to need addressing because they've shown up in unidentified driver. Under the Compliance tab is also where you're going to find the time card report, should you choose to use it. Now, the time card report used to be grouped together with the tabs where you would set your work hours, but they've now moved that under People, so we will find that in a few minutes. If the report, once you click on it, it works the same as it has previously. You can select all. You can either click Apply Changes, or you can find one of the customized reports for running the IFTA. And again, we have a jump over to exceptions, where you can run reports on any vehicles or drivers that have broken the rules that you have set up. If you click on the Safety tab, you'll notice here a new tab that's been added, Safety Center. The Safety Center just gives you a quick view. It's basically a dashboard for your safety reports. You'll find the risk management, which again is the same as it was in version 10. Log data and collisions, which is also the same as version 10. And this is where we have our customized activity detail from log data. Speeding history, although you can get speeding reports from your rules. And again, you have an exceptions tab. Under maintenance, you now have a maintenance center tab, which is an addition, which is basically a dashboard for your maintenance information. Asset inspection will be under here as it was before. So here you can run your reports on the asset inspections that your drivers have completed. And engine and device, just as before, was under maintenance. Reminders, if you choose to use the reminder rules. Maintenance records, upcoming maintenance, and again, you have a link to your exceptions tab where you can run reports for any vehicles or drivers that have broken any of the rules that you have set up. Sustainability. This is where you will find the fuel usage reports that you had access to in version 10. And again, a tab to jump over to exceptions. Now the people tab, users and drivers. Once you get over here, there are no changes from version 10 to version 11, except that your listing of your clearances is in a separate tab. So here is where you find the different clearances, either the stock clearances like admin or the customized clearances that you may have set up. Driver schedule. Now we find our work hours lists. Driver holidays, which works in conjunction with the work hours list. And that's what we're going to find under the people tab. Now your add-ins. Should you have any add-ins, you will find them under the add-in tab. Now this database happens to have a number of add-ins. As you can see. And this is also where you're going to find if you have any camera integration, they're going to come in under add-ins. If you have Geotab roadside assistance, that is also an add-in as well as collision reconstruction. So you will find them under here. Messages has its own tab. Should you be using the message feature with drivers that are using the driver logs? And under configuration, this is where you find your grips tree, where you access your roles, and report setup. So we have our reports that are set up for the dashboard, report views, and this is where we can customize reports, where we can schedule them. For report scheduling and customization, please see our future video that we'll have to explain that. Audit log. Audit log, it's the same as what you saw in previous versions, and this is where you can see the activity of any of the users in your Geotab database. Geotab applications, that's where you can access the marketplace, Geotab blog, and the Geotab community. Help and support is where you're going to find the product guide, access to training videos, contact information, and if you're set up for it, this is where you can also have a live chat for support directly from Geotab. So thank you for spending your time with us and allowing us to help you get the most out of your solution. For any Geotab inquiries or questions, our contact information is in the comments below.